Welcome to Two Poor Artists, where we're poor at being wanted, but mostly we're poor at making art. I'm Isaac.
And my name is Benj. When you say wanted,
Like, we're not wanted in the sense that people don't want us around.
right? Like
We're
desired,
not desired.
right?
We're poor artists in a world that hasn't embraced poor art.
Yeah,
We're also not wanted in the sense that the law ain't looking for us.
right.
You know,
Yeah, there's definitely two uses of that phrase.
I don't walk out down Main Street worried that the sheriff's gonna,
Right? No, yeah.
come up behind me and tell
Basically
me to draw.
anyone but the sheriff.
But the thing is, if the sheriff did come up to me and was like, draw, I'd be like, all right, but you don't want that.
I might need to be worried about that. Like how many layers down is the sheriff away from being president? Would he want to duel me?
No, I think you're safe. There's a long line between you and the sheriff.
Yeah.
Almost as long as between the artist general and the president.
But the sheriff might be pretty good at dueling. He might be able to catch up.
But is he good at drawing? Because that's the thing.
Right.
Someone comes up to me and is like, "Draw." I'm gonna get out a piece of paper and a ballpoint pen.
Right. Of course.
I'm gonna do a Toy Story 1 style. I'm gonna draw.
I feel like the sheriff has to be, right? Because someone comes up to him and describes, a villain.
Yeah.
Does he not need to just right there on the spot
Draw
it
the wanted poster
as quickly as possible?
I think that's
and then post it all over town.
I've never really thought about the sheriff being the one who drew the wanted poster.
Like you're in Mayberry, right?
Yeah, Mayberry.
There's Andy and there's Don Knotts.
Yeah, but you get
Barney.
You get Aunt B.
Like someone comes up, like it's not Barney, that's for sure.
I always assumed it was like the local school teacher who drew all the wanted posters.
So someone came and described it to the sheriff. Then the sheriff had to go and describe it to someone else.
Yeah, wanted posters were not very good back then.
It was like a game of telephone.
Maybe a lost part of history, or not really lost, just like no one cared back then either. Was the artist. Every town must have had an artist.
Right.
Every good boom town in the West, the prospectors were like, I need a drawing.
Right. Well, I mean, you need to draw maps.
Me some gold.
You need to draw people.
Drawing has always been a part of society, and it always will be a part of society. Poor art is just embracing the fact that you don't have to be good at it to do it.
Right.
Because,
I mean, we already showed that if we needed to draw, if we needed to be for sketch artists, we could definitely draw something.
We could be sketch artists to the local sheriff. So, like, if you're the Arizona sheriff, and you want us to draw for you,
right? Like, will it look the same as the person that got caught? But does that matter? Will it not have the correct number of features?
I mean, if we're talking like fingers and stuff, maybe not.
Well, you don't draw fingers.
Yeah, but so often, you know how it works.
Poster.
You remember how it goes. They're like, I'm looking for a 6-fingered man. And that's sometimes that's the biggest descriptor you have of the person you're looking for.
And that's when you put the hand up next to the face.
Yeah,
and you just draw 6 fingers.
But
like, everyone knows what a finger looks like. You don't have to draw it perfectly.
I guess that's true, right?
They're just like
nobody's going to be like, you have 6 fingers, but they're not as misshapen as in this wanted poster.
Right.
Besides, I think wanted posters are more about just the general feel of the villain.
Right. Like, really, you don't need to be described the person at all.
No.
You just need to be told what they're wanted for.
What they're wanted for, right? And everything after that is like, if you can nail down what the person who's wanted for that crime would look like, that gives you the same feeling when you look at
and
them.
Then when you look at the actual person, you're like, yeah, that guy.
It looks nothing like
same feeling.
I get the same feeling when I look at this wanted poster and that guy.
That must be the guy I'm looking for.
They look nothing alike, but
not even a single feature.
This pit in my stomach must mean something, And that's the thing. There's a lot of different crimes to be wanted for. In case you haven't caught on, we're going to draw wanted posters today. Wanted posters, $10,000 reward. Because that would have been big bucks back.
Right, this is like a old Western wanted poster.
Is this even a realistic? In the Old West, I think $10,000 would have been like ridiculous.
Yeah,
$10,000. We talk about like our grandparents buying their first house for like $4,000. My grandparents didn't live in the Old West.
I don't think we do.
I think they did. Yeah, like it doesn't go. But $10,000 back in our grandparents' day. You talk about how inflation has gone.
Yeah, I mean, like these are like the biggest criminals. Like this is FBI most wanted.
This is like Billy the Kid. You know.
Yeah,
You've
like
robbed,
this is like
he's robbed 55 trains.
You are saving the world practically by
for 10
catching
grand.
this guy.
Now 10 grand is like, do I?
It's like, is it even worth it?
Is it worth going down?
Is it worth crossing the street to tell the
apprehend
police?
This? Yeah, like it probably is.
Like pulling out my phone to dial.
But after.
After taxes,
is it really worth my time?
Like, can you even buy a meal after taxes?
I'm just saying, like, if I see a lost dog poster and it's $10,000, I'm like, I see the dog over there.
like, do it worth talking to someone for?
It is. I know, right? I'm gonna have to get this dog. I'm gonna have to bring it back to my house.
I'm gonna have to report my taxes without giving a gift of $10,000.
And that's just all kinds of criminal, you know. Like, how do I report the people who are taking my half of 10 grand?
Right.
You know, where's their wanted poster? That's what I'm saying. Yeah, $10,000. What we're saying is it's not a lot today, but it's a lot back whenever these wanted posters were relevant.
I mean, and $10,000 to a poor artist is still a decent amount.
Are you kidding? You know how many ballpoint pens and wood ink containers
Plus
we could buy?
One step towards the hotel.
One step, this will buy like the welcome mat of the hotel.
Right.
You know, because by the time we have a hotel, $10,000 can get you way less than it does now.
Inflation's gonna go crazy.
It's not gonna be pretty. But you know, this will help us. You know, it's like it starts the rainy day fund for the hotel. You know, we'll put it in a glass jar in quarters, and that'll look real impressive. You know,
I mean, $10,000 in quarters would be
it'd be a big
jar. That's a big jar.
I know, right?
You can put it in the front room, the lobby of the hotel.
Yeah, exactly. It can sit here in the studio, and we can just ogle it. You know,
would it fit in the studio?
Beautiful.
I guess in one of the many corners.
Not the one Josh is in.
Yeah.
But that corner, there's 4. Well, how many? 1, 2.
There's a lot more than 4.
But like it'll fit in a corner. We'll find a good.
We gave a tour of the corners to Brendan.
One of the 4 main corners.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. The point is, wanted posters are good things. No, but like wanted posters are necessary in society.
Yeah.
For all the reasons we've already talked about. It's important to know what the criminals kind of feel like, look like.
Yeah.
You know. So today we're gonna draw wanted, but we're gonna prove our wanted poster skill. I've chosen a crime because you know the crime is very important.
Yes. More important than what they look like.
Yeah, because seriously, people can wear disguises. People can, but you can't hide what's inside.
You can't hide the feeling you
can't hide the feeling you give off. You know
what they did.
Like all bank robbers, they give off the same vibes. You know, they're like that person feels like a bank robber to me.
You look at them, there's like they might be wearing a clown outfit right now, but that person robbed a bank.
They feel like a bank robber.
Yeah.
You know, I get that impression. It's like really high artist instincts is really what we're talking about. We have really high instincts as artists. Yeah, that's how we're able to get across the deep things of the world in art, despite other people looking at the same art and being like, "I don't get it." And you're like, "You don't have an artist's instinct."
No.
Some people talk about the artist's eye. You know, like you have an eye for that.
And some people pretend to have it, like all those prestigious people at the museums, and they're like, "I think that artist was thinking this when they drew that."
But tell me you don't Tell me you don't go into every major gallery that's out there and you look at the art and you're like, I just feel annoyed at this art because they're trying to make me feel something and I don't actually. Our art is poor art, like ours is pure in the feeling it invokes. It invokes exactly what it's meant to invoke.
Right. Yeah. Sadness and
Yeah,
disappointment.
usually, but that's life. You know, our art is the most real you'll feel this week. What you're about to see is more real than everything else. I mean,
is that what we're going with?
I think I said it. I don't know how much I mean it.
How about you tell me what this person's arrested
All right,
for?
So the wanted poster I want you to draw. The person is going to be wanted for. Okay, so like picture people at home. You can picture this too. Picture what you think. Now, you'll all have the same feeling when you think of this person.
Yes.
This person is wanted for tickling the mayor's grandma before Labor Day.
Okay.
Tickling the mayor's grandma before Labor Day. It's amazing how many crimes are, only relevant because of their correlation with when Labor Day is happening,
Right, yeah.
Like, don't wear white after Labor Day, or people are going to
it's a crime
scoff at you, apparently. Which, let's just be honest.
Like a fashion crime.
I mean, can we pause and talk about that for a second? Don't wear white after Labor Day.
Right.
White is one of the only two colors you can wear.
Right, yeah. So you have to wear black after. But what then counts as before and after?
Yeah, right.
Because it's one day on a circular calendar.
I think when the end of the year hits, maybe.
So, like, from Labor Day to January,
you have to wear...
You wear
black.
You wear black.
And then January 1st, you start wearing white until Labor Day?
Yeah, so it's like you were wearing white most of the time? Is that accurate?
No,
or
no, the other way around. Yeah.
Right. You're wearing...
What we're trying to say is this is bogus.
Yeah.
White and black, you can wear it whenever you want. It's color. Yeah. There needs to be a thing that's just like, don't wear color before or after Labor Day.
Yes.
Or on. Before, after, or on Labor Day. Don't wear color.
Yeah. Black and white.
That's the kind of fashion rules we can get behind.
Yeah. Like, you could, if you really wanted to, make a rule like, white after, black before, and then it's like, do you wear gray on Labor Day?
No, gray.
Or like black and white
striped? You wear a prison uniform.
Right.
That ties it back to what we're doing today. Wanted posters, Like, I think they should bring that back. Prisoners in Arizona, they wear pink.
Yeah.
Don't they? Or like bright orange.
Right, yeah, because you want to be able to see them.
Yeah, you want to be able to see them when they're working on the side of the freeway.
That's a prisoner that I'm looking at.
And like, that's the thing. I think if they went back to black and white stripe, people would just be like, "Oh, what a good costume!"
Right. Or they'd be like, "Why is there a referee?" Coming out. It's amazing
how many people like want it. They're like, "It's not fair that prisoners get to wear black and white stripes. We want to wear it.
We need to make them wear.
Yeah, make them wear some
disgusting
neon nastiness of color. We want to wear black and white stripes.
Right.
We want the people who tell us if we're right or wrong to wear black and white. Think about it. Judges wear black. Police officers wear black. The good ones. Referees wear black and white.
Right.
Like, we want our people in authority to wear black and white.
Yeah. Plus, just picture in your head someone who is important. Yes. That's a man. They are wearing a white shirt with a black suit.
Yeah, right?
Like, and a black tie.
And your women are wearing black suits with a white blouse.
Right, yeah.
And
like a black skirt.
Yeah. Just think about it. Everyone has agreed that black and white is the highest form of fashion already.
Yeah.
And also the fashion of the authorities in our lives. It wasn't fair that prisoners got to do it.
Right. So we're like, prisoners, color. Like losers.
Yep, that's exactly it.
It's part of the punishment.
I mean, think about it. Why else would they have changed?
Okay, I'm going to start drawing this guy.
Yeah, what does this person look like? It's a guy, first of all, because we didn't really say it had to be a guy.
Right, but I'm gonna make it a guy. I name him first? I'm gonna name him after I draw him.
I think that's fine. I think the last thing we'll do is give him a title.
Yeah, I think if this was a lady, the mayor might look the other way. Like, more than if it's a guy.
Yeah, I think if a man is tickling your grandma,
it's just worse.
Yeah,
like I'm not saying you want a lady to be tickling your grandma either. But if a gender is gonna be tickling your grandma,
I think strangely enough, the consensus might be that you would prefer a woman to tickle your grandma than a man.
Yeah. So, but the kind of guy that tickles a grandma, he's got a nose. For sure.
It's an aardvark man,
and
apparently.
Then like normally I draw pretty big eyes, right? But the guy that tickles your grandma, he's got beady little eyes.
Ooh. Are they like black? Just straight black, like an insect?
Yeah, he's got like insect.
Oh, this guy's creepy looking. Like, what's wrong with his nose? Why did you draw it like an anteater?
And then he's got
Is this a human?
Yeah, and then like his hair, he's got like that.
Why is one eye off of his face?
He's got like that hairdo.
What? Oh, God. This guy is just straight up like not human anymore. Right? Like, how is this human?
Hey, some people are just real
this
ugly.
Reminds me of something, but I don't know what. It's creeping me out.
Some people just are the most hideous people you've ever seen.
It reminds me so much of just an anteater thing. Or there's like something like a Star Wars creatures. It's 100%. I'm gonna find it. He reminds me of some Star Wars creature. I don't want this thing anywhere near my grandma. Clearly, he's come from outer space. Oh gosh, you just drawing him from the neck up? That's all you're doing? You're not giving him a body? I guess wanted posters are generally
they're normally just like the head. Like I'm gonna give him, like, you need to see, like, for this specific wanted poster, you're definitely gonna be seeing his hands.
That's slightly disturbing.
And then I don't normally give ears to my people, but this guy has ears.
This thing is. Why is his ear coming out the back of his head?
No, this is kind of like the side.
Like, the fact that you had to say kind of.
And then he's got like a Adam's apple for sure.
He makes me really uncomfortable, this guy. He looks like a grandma tickler. Not to be confused with a grandma tickler.
Mm-hmm.
Who's, every grandma.
And then, like, he's just got the worst.
He's kind of like Greedo from Star Wars, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, if Greedo had a weird 80s haircut. Oh, he's got facial hair that makes me uncomfortable. Like, you know the type. Mm-hmm. Like, the people who shouldn't grow facial hair that try.
Right.
Because there are people that it's just like, you're a creep if you try to grow facial hair.
Mm-hmm.
Your body wasn't. Why is his neck so creepy too? Everything about this man, I don't know what I was expecting. I don't.
Like, right. I mean, you told me that this guy's crime.
It did, and you are drawing.
This is his crime.
I think his. I'm trying to nail down what's so creepy about this thing. He's just screaming the 80s to me. He's just like, I don't think it's just a haircut. He's like the villain in every Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie,
Right.
Like, is this his hand?
Yeah.
Coming up out of the... Oh, he's got... Oh, what is... Oh, I thought the first two were pinching, and now... It's like every finger is pinching at the same time. A 5-finger, and by 5, I mean... Whatever that is, 4... The 4-finger pinch.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, I've been pinched. Everyone's been pinched. But I've never been pinched by 4 fingers at once. Like, some are having to do double duty at that point. How is that not just being grabbed? Like, he pinched me with every finger at the same time. You mean he grabbed you? No. It was worse. Oh, that hand is so broken. This guy's been, like, in deep with the loan sharks. And they're, like, breaking his fingers. His hand is so disturbing. He looks like a grandma pincher to me. Although it's not pinching, it's tickling.
He's tickling. These are tickling fingers.
Why do I keep saying pinching?
I don't know.
I think I just felt like I was being pinched by him. See, something's not right. I feel like this guy's a pincher. I'm getting pinching vibes.
But I don't know why. Like, these are tickling.
I think he needs something else to really push it over the edge.
That he's a tickler.
That hand has tickled so many people that every finger has broken.
Okay, what if I make these more like teeth, and then
those are the teeth of a tickler.
And then I have coming out of here.
Is that a tongue? Oh.
No one with
Let's just.
No one that's pinching is sticking out of the tongue.
This
is
like an alien that's doing a really bad job of blending in. He came to Earth to tickle grandmas for science, right, or something. Man, he's creepy. He's so creepy. Why the mayor's grandma? You know? Is that just like a law the mayor had to come up with?
Maybe he tickled more people, but like the reason he's specifically wanted.
So like the mayor is personally targeting this person.
Yeah.
I mean, look at those fingers. He doesn't just tickle. Oh God, what is that? Why does his Adam's apple have hair?
It's just like he's like. Have you ever heard of like the phrase neckbeard?
Yeah, it's not. Does it go down to your Adam's apple? I don't think I've ever. I'm feeling my Adam's apple now. Is it hairy? I guess kind. I guess it's close.
I mean, maybe you're not much of a neckbeard.
This amount. Thank the Lord for that. This amount of stubble is mildly concerning. It's like he has really bad acne everywhere. You know, like he hasn't washed his face ever. He's too busy tickling.
Yeah, I think here. Let me see if I make this more like a hair at the neck.
Is he blind? Or are those? Oh no! Now it's just. Now it looks like he's charred down there. So wait, hang on. You're saying he lets it grow just on his throat?
Yeah.
There's the difference between a neck beard and a throat beard. You know, it's like.
Well, it's not inside. So
imagine seeing someone walk down the street and they only have hair all over their throat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's the worst.
And all their fingers have been, maimed from the incredible amount of tickling that they do.
Does this guy have glasses?
I think you've made him blind. You need to give him like a cane.
I give him glasses.
You just finished his eyes is what you did. He looked less creepy now, somehow. No less tickler. Don't you hate it when your glasses have to stretch all the way around to the back of your head to loop onto your one ear?
I'm sure he's got another one over there.
Where? On the back? Like two little butterfly wings?
He's got like dandruff coming out.
Is there a cartoon? I feel like there's a cartoon where they like make fun of somebody for having one. Oh, it's Fairly Odd Parents.
Mm-hmm.
What's the teacher's name? His name is
Crocker.
Crocker. He has like one ear on his neck.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Just look at this.
Yeah. It's
gross. He has like a single neck ear.
Mm-hmm.
He's just your guy and this guy are closely related.
Yeah.
This guy would tickle someone's grandma.
I would believe that he would tickle a grandma.
It's real.
Is this guy missing anything?
I mean, you just keep adding weird facial hair to him, so no.
His hands also... one of his hands is way bigger than the other. And
like I said, I feel like one is just like worn away from all the tickling that it's done. You know?
But which one? They're both worn.
Are we just assuming that his hands are so messed up because of all the tickling he's done? Right? That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah. Because he just he's broken his fingers tickling.
Oh, it's so disturbing to think about that.
And then no doctor's willing to fix his fingers for him.
This guy should have been arrested.
The hand mangler did not get to this guy.
This guy is his own hand mangler. Yeah. What is it? Dandruff coming out of his hair? Did you say that?
Yeah.
I missed that?
Yeah,
Yeah, this guy would have dandruff. He's so creepy.
Yeah.
He's so much like the guy that walks out of Circle K and you're like, get in the car, Grandma, quick.
He's gonna tickle you.
You can always tell. And keep in mind, this probably isn't what the actual criminal looks like. Right. You know? But
he feels like
this guy. Whatever you feel the same way you're feeling now when you're looking at this drawing.
Yeah. When you go and see a guy that makes you feel this, the feeling you're feeling right now, if you ever feel that way when you see someone,
call the police.
He's wanted for tickling the mayor's grandma.
Before Labor Day.
We
haven't really specified why that's even on the wanted poster.
You had to make the law. And everyone's like, but what if I need to tickle your grandma on what's a holiday after Labor Day?
St. Patrick. Wait, that's before.
4th of
Christmas.
July.
Like, I don't. Yeah. Okay.
It's like, what about 4th of July? Doesn't your grandma always like being tickled on the 4th of July? And he's like, okay, fine. You can't tickle my grandma before Labor Day.
I don't usually like to blame grandmas for the crimes that are committed against them, but like, if everyone knows that the mayor's grandma likes to be tickled on the 4th of July, like, this guy has some case, when he goes to court.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, yeah, sure, I tickled her before Labor Day, but like, a month or so later, she would have like invited it, Well, yeah, and then you're like, maybe the grandma should be in jail too, like,
mm-hmm.
I don't know. Tickling is such a... I don't even think of tickling... I never thought of tickling as a crime until I watched VeggieTales.
Mm-hmm.
And you have the island
of... the worst punishment.
Yeah, because you have what is it, about Daniel and the Lion's Den,
mm-hmm.
right?
No, it was Esther.
Oh, Esther. Yeah, I would skip those two. Yeah. But you have the island of perpetual tickling.
Mm-hmm.
And, you have the guy with the giant feather, the Grim Reaper with the giant feather.
Reaper, yep.
Just, it's super
comfortable. And honestly, that's like what you should think of tickling. Like, does anyone like being tickled? Like, there might be, like, babies sometimes do.
I think.
But it's like, even then, it's like, are we sure they're not just laughing out of forced? Like, how do you, like...
I think it's just a social thing, man. I think you get to a certain age, and it's like, if you really like being tickled a lot, people are like, ew. They feel uncomfortable tickling you at that point.
Yeah, but
like, if you or I went up
like that,
if like it was well known that the two
just like torture,
but like if it was well known that the 2-4 artists really liked being tickled,
mm-hmm.
people would think we're weird,
right? But I think that's because tickling is such a bad thing.
At what point does it become bad? Though, is it always bad?
I can't remember a time where I liked being tickled.
I think it's just social pressure put on poor artists.
I'm sure at some point as a baby I laughed when people tickled me, but isn't that because that's what happens? Like, how do you know that the baby likes being tickled?
And they laugh.
Yeah, but if you tickled me, I'd laugh. I'd also punch you in the face.
Well, you just sound particularly violent.
Tickling...
I'd probably be like, no, stop it.
Because you hate it.
Well, I mean, I bet I wouldn't resort to physical violence.
If they don't stop tickling,
you run.
No, you resort to physical violence.
No, you run. You get out of there, man. Yeah. You run out into public, and people will shame the tickler. Especially if they look like this.
Or you stop it.
I think this is when you go
and make sure it never happens to you again.
And then you make your own wanted.
You make an example of them.
Oh wow! Well, I think if you and I drew a wanted poster of them, that would be enough to make an example out of them. Like, don't make us draw you. It's one of the greatest threats you and I possibly could give.
Right.
It'll prove we don't respect you.
Mm-hmm.
We don't draw people we respect.
Except for all the times that we do.
Well, yeah, but do you respect that guy?
No, of course not.
Of course not.
Look at him.
What's his name?
Oh, yes. This guy has a name.
He has to have a name, right? Because, like, you need to know so that when you see him on the street, you're like, hey, tickler! And then if he turns and looks at you, you know it's him.
Right.
Yeah, to be fair, this guy, pretty distinct looking. Those glasses are really freaking me out because they just look like his eyes, like big bugged out eyes.
But they're glasses.
Why?
He has.
Why does he have a tongue split down the middle?
No, that's just tongue's always.
I feel like he's gonna tickle you with that. He's gonna tickle you with his throat beard. Like this guy. Quite horrifying.
I was looking up just real quick to see
what famous ticklers.
No, if there was like a synonym for tickling. They're weird.
As the whole world watching our video goes to search for tickling synonyms.
Yep. Don't. It's just none of these can be used. That's
Nope.
And also, some of them don't make sense. Like, why is Chuck on here? Like, that means to throw carelessly or casually.
You throw your fingers at someone carelessly. You know this guy does.
This guy's name is Chuck.
Chuck.
He needs a last name.
Yeah.
Where do I put the name? Up here? Up
Uh,
here? I normally do it in the left corner as a title.
yeah, I mean, that works. Chuck. That's just it? That's the whole name? It's just Chuck.
Chuck. No. Chuck.
Chuck McTicklefingers. Chuck Will. I don't even think this is a word anymore. Chuck Winkle?
Willy Winkle.
Willy Winkle.
Yeah.
Chuck Willy Winkle.
Yeah.
And you
From
know,
the
Chuck,
great Willy Winkles.
yeah, you know this guy's got a sad backstory. Coming from the great Willy Winkle family, you know?
Yeah, he really fell off.
Yeah, he's definitely a...
It's like they were a
fall from
well-respected.
grace.
They were a well-respected family.
Everyone knows the Willy Winkle manor up the road. We all have one. Willy Winkles are so
Yeah.
famous. Everyone
He
knows
just-
of a Willy Winkle manor.
Yeah, he was just
Manor.
he wasn't raised well. You know, like the dad, great man,
Yeah, clearly
Bad.
great man.
bad father.
Terrible father, you know? Never taught his son to shave properly.
No,
Obviously, right? Mom never taught him to condition his hair, you know?
no,
It's rough.
they just raised up him as a tickler.
You know that family like lost track of this guy
Mm-hmm.
sometime around the time he was kicked out of college,
Right.
you know? Like
Mm-hmm.
they put him in the Ivy League and but he's just tickled one too many professor before Labor Day and just, you know, they kicked him out and, you know, they just lost track of him.
Yep.
Became a tickling addict.
As you do.
Tickled until his fingers just fell apart.
Well, I think I'll be done with
That's
this.
sad. I didn't want this to get sad. I mean, sure, he's wanted. Like, there's a sad story there.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
What are you doing?
can you get
saving
wanted without? No.
Oh. Are you just getting rid of
We're switching over layers.
it? Okay, let's do it. Then I have to draw someone who's wanted for something. What's my person going to
Yeah.
be wanted for?
So your person.
Mm-hmm. You should make the screen normal sized again.
Well, yeah, I can do that. Your person will be wanted for smooching
Ooh.
132 Yorkies on St. Patrick's Day.
He's been smooching with everybody. And by everybody, I mean 132 Yorkies.
Yeah.
On St. Patrick.
On
Why are both of ours tied to like a specific date?
Well, I mean, for mine,
These are just oddly specific laws at this point.
yeah, I mean, for mine, it might not be like because one murder is illegal, right?
So I mean,
But someone who murdered 132 times on St. Patrick's Day is also illegal.
so it's not really that the law was that you can't smooch Yorkies on St. Patrick's Day.
Not necessarily. It
just-
could have been,
It's just something that happened.
but like this is what he did.
It's like the
Like,
great smooching.
and they really wanted to point out the fact that it's like he did it all in one day.
yeah,
Like he could do more.
I think like the whole town's been talking about it.
Right,
you know?
yeah,
Like
and
they
it's
knew that this person smooched 132 Yorkies on St.
yeah,
Patrick's
and like
Day.
and it might matter that
And they're
it's on St.
like, they
Patrick's
see the
Day.
wanted poster, and it can't be like for smooching 132 Yorkies, because then they'll be like, I wonder if that's the guy that did it on St. Patrick's
Right,
Day,
yeah.
you know? But
or like was this a collective like within his lifetime he's smooched? Because like that's the thing.
Yeah, right.
Also, like, is it illegal to smooch a Yorkie, or is like the problem that he went like to
Yeah.
every Yorkie
yeah,
in
like
town?
he was on a smooching rampage.
Yeah, and it's like, and there gets to be a point where you're like, that has
Enough
to be
is
illegal.
enough, right?
Like,
Yeah, like this. Like I didn't think it was illegal until I saw it. You know?
like when everyone saw it,
yeah,
so many
it's
times.
quite. And then they're like, this has to be. Just
Yeah.
arrest him. You know,
Right,
we'll-
like we'll make up the law
yeah,
after.
like they're writing the law as they're issuing the warrants.
Mm-hmm. And his argument, is probably like, but it wasn't illegal. It's
Uh-huh.
like, yeah, but But like you know as well as us that it should have been.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. You think his trial has like video footage?
Well, what time? Like I kind of assumed Old West.
I mean, that's okay. You're right. I don't know why I'm also always just assuming Old West.
Like I mean, technically,
Probably because of the wanted poster.
and we use we use the font called Western.
Oh, that's probably it. I this guy. Why Yorkies? I mean, Yorkies are pretty cute dogs.
Right.
Nobody's looked at a Yorkie and not been like, oh.
Yeah, I mean, it was mostly because I wanted to write a word, and I was like, it's not going to be babies. That's too creepy.
Too creepy. Although there's probably some grandmas out there that.
Yeah, and it's
big
like,
St.
and,
Patrick's
you already
Day party.
took grandmas, so it's like,
Yeah.
so just it won't be a human. That's what I determined.
I just meant that there's probably like some grandma out there that kissed 130 babies on one day.
Right? Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
She went to like a baby convention,
or like a president, like running for president.
Yeah, but like if you're a president, people want you to kiss the baby. That's like a thing
people
you do.
Just like breeding up all the babies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They either kiss your baby or you sign the baby.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. So then it's like dogs, but it's like you don't want to just say dogs.
Yeah, because then there's too much.
It's more funny when it's more specific.
I think it's
sometimes.
I think another part of this is too specific for my liking. Is that it wasn't just a kiss. It wasn't just like a peck. It was
it's smooching.
it was a smooch. You know, that's not a
Well,
kiss.
if you just pecked 132 Yorkies,
You might be a chicken.
yeah, would anybody care?
Yeah, but seriously,
This
this
is
guy.
smooching.
Okay, so like we got it. There got to be lips, right? Like lips.
I mean, it would be weird if he didn't have lips, unless you assumed like something happened.
Ooh, no. Also, is this a man or a woman?
Oh yeah, that's up to you to decide what feeling gets across this person.
I'm feeling
more.
like if a dude kissed my dog, I'd be more weirded out than if a woman did it.
Yeah, I think
What is this? What's wrong with us? Why are we hating on?
I think it's just the truth.
I think there's just certain things men shouldn't do.
Yeah,
Smooching animals,
yeah,
tickling
weird.
grandmas. You know,
yeah.
no one should be smooching a dog.
No.
Let's just put that right out there. You know,
Yeah.
there are those people that like let their dog lick their face. Those people should be arrested.
Yeah, and it's weird. But even that
but
isn't
like,
smooching.
it just grosses me out. Is really what it is. It's like, you know where that dog's tongue has been everywhere. It's been everywhere.
In your
it's
toilet.
Been on the
How
toilet.
clean is your toilet?
It's been on every inch of them. Would you lick every inch? Let's not even answer. That's the question.
Yeah.
There's those people who are like, you know, grooming their cat with their own tongue, and you're like, your tongue should be burned off by the Lord. Seriously though, if you're smooching your dog, because you're like, oh, it's your baby, and you're like, you need help, or you know, like help.
Right.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah. And Yorkies though are the type of dog, like the type of person that owns a Yorkie. Like it's easy. Like someone who has a Great Dane, they're not smooching their Great Dane. But like a Yorkie.
Well, but nobody smooches a Yorkie. They go, oh, you just, and they do those like little fake kisses.
Right.
They don't smooch any. There's the person who takes it too far.
Yeah, and that's this person.
Like it's, and then they just couldn't stop. Apparently, how do you find 132 Yorkies on St. Patrick's Day?
I mean, whatever town this is must have Yorkies. Like, it must be a Yorkie town.
It was like the Yorkie Fair, you know, like that just so happened.
Yeah,
this is how we celebrate St. Patrick's Day in our town.
Yeah, everyone has.
Bring out the Yorkies.
We bring all the Yorkies from all nearby towns.
So, like, I'm also trying to picture what happened with this guy. He's at the Yorkie Fair in this town.
Yeah,
and he smooches one Yorkie, and clearly the crowd is like, ugh.
Maybe he brought one.
Okay.
Like he has one. Maybe.
Not anymore. He doesn't.
Like, I mean, maybe he didn't. Maybe he came.
But like,
maybe he was so overcome with the sight
you're at the fairground. You know, the festival has begun.
Right.
You smooch one Yorkie.
Yeah.
And then people look at you like, I can't believe I just witnessed this with my own eyes.
Right.
But then you go to the second. You know, like
right
next to it.
Like, let's say you're here.
Right? Yeah.
and you're watching this guy, and
Oh.
he smooches a Yorkie,
Uh-huh.
and then he goes over to another one.
Uh-huh.
Like, are you doing anything to stop him?
But like that's the thing. 132?
Right, but like,
No one stopped. Yeah,
Is
I'm
there a
assuming he
point?
ran out of Yorkies.
Yeah.
Not that someone stopped him.
yeah, because who's stopping him?
Yeah.
Like, you're too baffled the whole time.
But like after
all 132
everyone
times.
is shielding their children's eyes and leaving the festival, they're like packing up their dog.
Right.
The fact that they didn't pack up their dogs and they're like, let's get out of here before his lips touch you.
No, they're just so baffled. Like, they didn't even react. They're just watching him. He walks right up to you. You and your pet Yorkie. He looks you in the eyes, picks up your Yorkie, smooches it, and walks away. And you just a gaped mouth, wide-eyed.
Yeah, I guess that's what's happening, isn't it?
Because, what would you do? Like, run away?
Like,
Grab your Yorkie and run?
depends on how much you love your dog.
You're just
And
so
decency
baffled.
in general.
You're just so baffled.
132, man? That's so many.
Yeah, and it's just every
That
time.
would take
You're like,
time.
surely that was the last one.
It's like,
Surely he knew those.
just do
like-
the math.
Like,
if,
you're watching.
if it took him 30 seconds to get from dog to dog,
yeah.
that's like an hour. Isn't it?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah. I mean, it would be just over an hour if it took 30 seconds.
can you imagine? Like the police were called and arrived,
Right.
and it
And they're
still
they're just
happened.
watching him.
This
it's
is
just-
such a disturbing town.
Well, it's just it's so baffling because like the first time you're like, oh, that must be his dog. Second time you're like, oh, he must know that dog. Third time you're like, he must know that dog too, I guess. Then he comes up to your dog and does it, and you're just like, I know he doesn't know my dog, but what's happening?
I'm gonna suggest
Who
something
is
else.
this
I'm gonna
guy?
suggest something else that caused people to not stop him just immediately.
Okay.
As we all know, being handsome,
Mm-hmm.
people let you get away with a lot.
All right. Yeah.
You know, because
Yeah.
you're really handsome. So like, if this dude was just incredibly handsome,
Right. Yeah. Like you could have gone the it's a girl route because
yeah, people wouldn't have
people
stopped.
wouldn't have stopped.
But
her.
like again,
but then would she even be wanted?
well, I mean, if someone sees him, yeah, she would.
Okay.
I don't really know where I was going with that.
Okay, but see, the problem with this strategy is that now you have to draw someone handsome.
What do you mean? Haven't I succeeded?
But like, why is there such a gap of hair
Where?
behind his ear, like
Right here?
around his ear? Yeah.
Oh, we're getting hair covers a multitude of sins. Doesn't cover the sin of kissing 132 Yorkies, but
And like, so you're saying
look at that.
like
He's
mullet
handsome.
is
It's not.
handsome,
It's curly and
and why is it?
it's the kind of hair that
It's like
grandmas are
it's
like,
a
oh,
a curly mullet.
it's the kind of hair that grandmas are like, oh, I'd kill for your hair, and you're like,
But-
but would you kiss 132 Yorkies
you
for
still
it?
like the hair doesn't quite get to the ear. Like what? Like he has a weird
Is that better?
gap.
Is he more handsome now?
Like, it's also just like weird that it like
I'm
angles from the ear. Like
You're more worried about that than you are about his protruding lips.
those are like cartoony. Like his hair.
Is that better?
Oh, the moist lips
Uh huh.
of a Yorkie. Because
Yeah.
I feel like they'd be dried out
No,
after.
no, he
132.
hydrates, man. He hydrated real well. Oh, it's unfortunate. He applies lots of chapstick.
Constantly.
You know how, like, when chapstick warms up and you put it on and it's
it
basically
must
like a
take
liquid?
more than 30 seconds for Yorkie then if he's just
Maybe.
constantly applying chapstick.
I guess, right?
Are
What
his
else?
eyes closed? Is that what you're
Yeah.
showing? So,
Uh-huh.
okay. It's just one of the worst mustaches.
Uh-huh. And it's also dripping.
Oh,
with the kiss,
Mhm.
with the the
Yeah, right. From the dogs that like kissed him back.
it's damp with tiny dog kisses.
Mhm.
You know, 'Cause, yeah, there's a lot of moistness.
That's a point where he stops being handsome. Like even if he was handsome, it's like, okay, now that his mustache is
Well, I mean, someone called the police. So.
soggy. Is he wearing like a turtleneck?
You bet.
I don't like this guy.
Yeah. Well, you
I
shouldn't.
mean, he's so far. He looks like a Yorkie smoocher.
I know, right? Like I nailed the feeling.
Yeah,
The feeling is there.
but I don't know if I can agree with the assessment that the reason people didn't stop him is because he's so handsome.
That's just one theory. People had to. He has a pocket full of dog treats.
Right, okay.
You know?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like he likes dogs,
He
obviously.
does.
Like, that's-
A little too much.
that's-
If you ask anyone. Like,
are you gonna attempt a Yorkie in the drawing?
I don't really know if I'm that bold. What's a Yorkie look like? Now I gotta look one up.
Penny
Like I know what one.
was a Yorkie.
Like I know what one looks like, but I don't know what one looks like well enough to like.
To like draw it.
Uh-huh.
But do we know what anything looks like well enough to draw it?
No, we don't.
Like, do we know what humans look like well enough to draw it?
No. Man, Yorkies are complex. I think I'll have to draw one.
You're starting over there. Is that what part of the Yorkie is this?
I'd like to save my answer.
Oh. Like I kind of assumed he would be holding the Yorkie.
Well, he wants to. He's reaching for it.
Okay. Yeah, like I expected it to be like its face was close to his lips and he was holding it. But he's just pointing with his eyes closed.
That's not pointing. There's a difference between pointing and reaching with one finger.
Oh,
You know? Like,
okay.
there's
there is a difference.
There is a big difference.
It's unfortunate that that's what he's doing.
I know. Trust me, I know.
At least your guy's wearing a shirt.
Was your guy not?
Nope.
Ooh. I'm glad I didn't notice that. Now there's people who are like weird and they're like going back and looking at your video.
Yeah, why do you want to see that?
Yeah, I just said they're weird.
I mean, the main difference is I just didn't draw a collar.
Yeah, that's a big thing. This is a Yorkie, can you tell? Me either. Okay. But it's like
I mean, it's the creature. Oh, are those eyes?
uh-huh.
Is that the mouth? Like, I thought the eyes would be more centered on the head.
Yep, you thought that, but he's like his eyes have shifted.
like the head didn't
Like the
turn.
eyes migrated over. Yeah.
Both eyes just moved a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Is it wearing like a scarf?
I think it's just fur.
But it's like did they shave the body then?
Fur.
Right, but like that's still like the neck.
I don't know. I don't.
The neck fur is like extra.
Well, your guy had a neck beard. Just
Well, yeah, no, my guy was horrible though.
yeah.
Is this a bad Yorkie?
No, he's a good boy.
Oh, but why? Why do you even draw that part? Whose wanted poster is ever like it's got to be up, down, just past the
Keep
button.
in mind, it's the feels
Right.
of this. Like, do you get the feeling you're supposed to?
Mm-hmm.
You know, Like,
Yeah, I think with this,
his butt's real weird.
I can be like, if I see a guy who's the smoocher of 132 Yorkies on St. Patrick's Day,
Uh-huh.
I would get the same feeling.
His other arm just must be down at his side.
Yeah.
I feel like, I don't know, like, there's more I want to do for this guy. Maybe here. I'll give him a pocket down here. And he has,
Oh, that's like a real square pocket.
that's just chapstick.
That's like more of like a square pouch attached to the.
Yeah, no, it's weird. You know?
Yep.
Just, all right, I don't know how much more I could.
His eye is like real high up.
Yeah, it is. I think I was going for like an eyebrow thing.
Right.
And then I didn't.
Yeah. Yeah, because like your ear and your eye and your nose and the top of your nose are all level with each other. The ear and the nose are in the right spot. The eye, real high up.
What's his name?
Yeah, what would this guy's name be? He's got like a curly mullet going on.
Yeah, I know. I'm thinking like, gosh.
He doesn't really look like Western time. He looks like 70s to me.
Yeah, I know.
Like even his clothing, like you gave him
yeah,
pockets.
I know. I didn't
like
really go with the whole thing.
And like I mean, like
Again,
those existed.
Yeah.
Like turtleneck, like it's just like these pieces of clothing could very well have existed.
I guess I could give him like a little hat.
Western time.
Give him like a little hat. That would have helped, right?
And that's just like a 70s hat.
Well, I mean, just be like a little cowboy hat.
I feel like would a cowboy wear a little
I
cowboy
don't
hat?
feel like this guy wears a hat though. Like, you know,
It would mess up his hair.
that's not the vibe I'm getting. It would get in the way,
Yeah.
fall off. I think his name is.
He's bending over to smooch.
I think his name is Fergus.
Fergus. It also just feels 70s to me.
It does. I know. Fergus.
Like you were saying, my guy looks like an alien from Star Wars. I think your guy looks like an actor that would be in Star Wars.
Fergus. I don't know what his last name is though. Fergus. Fergus Casanova.
Oh.
You know, like he has like a romantic sounding name.
Mm-hmm.
Like this guy, the ladies swooned over
Right.
until the
this.
day,
Yeah.
until St. Patrick's Day.
Right. Yeah.
You
Like
know?
when it was that 131st Yorkie, like maybe someone still.
Yeah,
But
132 scares off every single woman
yeah.
from your life.
Right.
You know, just
Like
keep that in mind, men.
Guaranteed. This is a 24 hours guarantee.
Guarantee.
If you go and kiss 132 or smooch
Yeah.
132 Yorkies in one day.
Yeah, every woman in your life.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
It will take time before a woman will speak to you again.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
And like it will have to probably be in a different.
Yeah. You'll have to go
country.
somewhere
You have to
else.
go more than a town or 10
You'll
over.
need to go somewhere else. You'll need to repent. You'll need to
let's just
everything.
be clear. There's a lot of repentance involved here. You know, there's a lot of like you need
like
you
you'll
need Jesus.
you'll have jail time.
Mm-hmm.
You'll get out.
Yeah,
You'll
the
join
prison
a group.
chaplain's got his work cut out
Yeah.
with you.
You'll join groups. You'll
What
get
Yorkie
help.
kissing groups? And
Like,
that's not
no.
what it sounds like. It's not where you get together and kiss Yorkies.
No.
It's where they help you.
I think it's
Not
more like
just
one of those. Like
Yorkies.
it's too specific. It's like you're just gonna go to like an anonymous group.
Just
Like
Smoochers Anonymous.
yeah, like all animals.
Yeah, and just
Like they're not all Yorkies.
no,
creatures.
they're not. They just it's rough.
Yeah, and then after like years of being clean, the women might start finding you attractive again.
Maybe.
So like
It's like on a
stool.
mushroom. I don't know. On a stool. Yeah, it felt weird that he was floating there.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is the Yorkie Festival.
Right. Yeah. Like this is
On
one of
St.
the
Patrick's
one
Day.
of the on show Yorkies.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I wonder if he got away with it. Like, was he a judge, or did people think he was a judge? Maybe that's one reason that he got away with it for so
Ooh,
long.
that could be, right?
Like, I think there's multiple reasons. Like, different people had different reasons for not stopping him. Like, some are like, he must be the judge. No one else would be getting that close to the Yorkie. Some people are like, that must be his Yorkie.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like some people were just baffled.
When he's kissing
some people were swooning over him.
Kissing, I mean, a lot of people were until the 132nd time.
Yeah.
But, like, you know, there's just no excuse at some point.
Right.
I realized I don't really know what a 4-leaf clover looks like.
I mean, that looks like a lot more than 4 leaves.
2, 3, 4. Yeah, now it's 4.
Like, I know they kind of have like a shape.
How do you celebrate St. Patrick's Day? Nobody does anything.
You turn the water green. You have some Shamrock shakes from McDonald's. You go to the mall and pinch everyone that's not wearing green.
Wow, that's a good way to get kicked out of the mall. I think it's just like a flag over here.
You go to the mall and don't wear green.
On a hill.
See if anyone pinches you.
Yeah, that's interesting. That is a good. Yeah, you could do both, right? You become the pincher and the pinchy.
Yeah, like you go to the mall twice. One's wearing green and one's not wearing green.
That's fun. Yeah, because then there'll be people there who are still doing the not green or the green thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like a whole event.
Yeah.
I mean, it could turn real dark real quick because you could be one person. You ever been pinched too hard?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right? And then it's not fun.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the kind of pinching you're supposed to do on St. Patrick's Day is like the playful pinching where it's like
yeah,
full finger. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt at all.
You don't use your muscles.
Yeah. You're just like, like no one. Like the type of pinching you're supposed to do is like no one's going to complain. There's going to be like, oh, that's because I wasn't wearing green. But then you got those people that come up, use the nails and it's like they're like, what? Why are you trying to make me bleed?
Yeah, it's like the every woman villain from the 90s movies, the ones with the big hair and the long nails.
Yeah.
They're there and they draw blood.
Right, yeah.
They have their rattlesnake venom nail polish on.
Mm-hmm.
It's real rough.
Yeah.
Real rough. Not as rough as having to watch this guy kiss 132 Yorkies on St. Patrick's Day.
No.
He is wanted, and I feel almost the need to add another 0 up here to the reward, but that's not the artist's job. That's the banker's job, I guess. Whoever's paying out this reward. How the heck do rewards get paid out in the Old West? $10,000 reward. Who's paying that?
I mean,
we arrested a prospector. Every time we arrest another man, we have to jump the claim of a prospector.
Yeah. Like I could understand like if he robbed a bank.
Yeah,
and you're just like you get some of the money that he already robbed.
Yeah,
because otherwise we wouldn't get the money back.
Honestly, I think for this guy, everyone who was at the Yorkie, festival, they pitched in and they're like
pitched in like 100 or something.
More than that, probably. They realized what they've seen and they're trying to repent for not stopping him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Guilt drives that.
Right.
It's true. Fergus Casanova. This guy in the 70s was like desire. He was wanted in a different way, He used to be wanted, now he's wanted. That's the sad true crime story of Fergus Casanova.
Right.
From wanted to wanted. The Fred Casanova smooching story.
Just so bad.
Thank you.
Like he's not as horrible looking as my guy.
No, he's not. But
like what?
He's worse in a different way.
What like the drips from his mustache.
Your guy just crawled out of the trailer park. Something or other. My guy.
Like my guy, before he did anything, you knew he could do something.
Yeah, that's what this guy was like. Man, he's the romantic type, and you're like, but doing it in the way we thought.
Like it's almost worse to me because it's like this guy's like surprises you with how bad he is.
It's true. It's true. It all happened on St. Patrick's Day. After St. Patrick's Day, nothing was ever the same in the town of whatever this
Yorkshire.
It
was like a real place.
Do you think they ever held the Yorkie Festival again? No, they didn't.
No, like they couldn't. No one brought. No one would.
No one was. Everyone was like, maybe they're like in cages. They tried it one year
to protect the Yorkie.
They're like, we never thought we'd need to, but after last year, we're not taking any chance.
It was probably canceled for a couple years, and then they got the cages.
Yeah, they tried to revive it. That was like one of the new stipulations, and everybody was like, it's just not the same.
Yeah.
It's not the same anymore, you know?
Yeah.
One of these days, the town will forget.
Right.
And they'll also remember their heritage. They'll forget Fergus Casanova.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
But again, if you ever see someone who gives you the same feeling as that guy.
This guy that you're looking at.
No,
that you need to call the sheriff.
Yeah,
department.
exactly. Right? Call. That's the thing, too. Back in the West, you didn't call the sheriff. You like,
no, yeah.
You there, boy, go, son and bind.
Right, go get the sheriff.
What's his name? Mercantile helper boy.
Mm-hmm.
Go get the sheriff. You always see that in Western. Go get the sheriff.
Right, yeah.
An innocent boy has to hope that the bad guy doesn't just, like, shoot him, I guess, as he's running for the sheriff.
Right.
Why is it that outlaws have, like, morals to some degree? They're like, yeah, he's going to get the...
Because it was the West.
Yeah.
Because it was the olden time. Like, people were afraid of God, if nothing else.
You know who doesn't have morals? Fergus Casanova and... whatever your guy's name is.
Chuck. Willie.
Oh, yeah. Willie. It wasn't Whittle Womp.
Willie. Oh, no one cares what his name is.
Well, if you're a sheriff watching today and you want us to draw wanted posters for you that don't necessarily resemble somebody but give people the vibe that you're looking for.
Right, yeah, just like tell us what they're wanted for. We'll give the right vibe.
Yeah.
And if nothing else, when the person who is wanted sees it, they might turn themselves in.
Yeah, they'll be like,
they'll be like, no, this can't be what people think.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Like I would rather be arrested than this picture being up.
Honestly, if you and I get into the wanted poster business, people could just be like, 132 Yorkies, it'd be like the news story. 132 Yorkies were kissed on St. Patrick's Day, and the two poor artists have threatened if the culprit doesn't turn himself in, they're going to draw a wanted poster of him, And the person's like, no! What's left of my reputation?
Yeah, like your reputation's better if you get arrested.
Yeah, you don't
with our pictures.
You don't want to go to jail and everyone in the jail has already seen your wanted poster and they're like, oh, that's you, huh?
Yeah.
Lips and mustache dripping with the kisses of Yorkies. Yeah, that's how you get beat up in prison.
Yes.
So if nothing else, we could be a threat to criminals, doing our part to make America
greatest
safe.
Weapon.
Yes, indeed. And on that note, we'll see you next time.
Bye.
As always, we're surprised you made it this far into our video.
There's no way we could possibly ask you to subscribe to this atrocity, so we won't.
We would say share it with your friends, but it's probably better for wasting your enemy's time.
We're probably not going to get any better, but we will keep drawing.
See you next time.